Okay, I'm just going to do a couple more examples in this video if you need a few more examples using that inverse trigonometric function. So number 16, let's just do a few of these from the notes. This says calculate x, and x represents this angle to the nearest degree. So this one we're rounding to the nearest degree. Again, we look at what angle we're trying to find and what's given in reference to that. So it looks like we have the opposite leg here and the hypotenuse. Now, if you have all three, you can actually choose any of the trig functions you want to. You'll see some like that on your homework. If I have all three legs, not a big deal. Maybe I want to use the opposite and hypotenuse each time. Or I could use opposite and this one. So if you have all three legs, you can go ahead and use whatever one you want. This one we only have the two, so we use the opposite and hypotenuse. Again, that looks like it's related to our sine function. So we do the sine of the angle is equal to the opposite, 2.5 over 5. Again, if I'm solving for x and I want to sort of undo the sine, then I do the sine inverse. So 2.5 over 5. And again, I'm going to go to my calculator and I'm going to do the inverse sine, so second sine, and it looks like we had 2.5 over 5. So 30 degrees. That angle right there, x, would be equal to 30 degrees. Okay, let's look at two more. So number 17 says calculate x to the nearest degree. Again, we have an angle here labeled as x. And it looks like, again, we have the opposite leg and the hypotenuse. It's just turned a different way. So if we look at this one, that's again going to be sine. So sine of x, right, is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. So again, if I'm solving for x, then I'm going to do the inverse sine of 8 over 11. And again, I'm going to go to my calculator, inverse sine of 8 over 11. Oh, that's a 4. Oh dear. Unfortunate. So 46.7 degrees. We'll put that in here, although it said to the nearest degree, so we probably should go all the way to 47 degrees. Okay, last one, 18. Calculate the measure of angle A. So we're looking at this one right here. So let's look at A. In relation to that, it looks like we have the adjacent side and the hypotenuse. So this one, adjacent and hypotenuse, is the cosine function. So we're going to set this one up as the cosine of angle A is 5 over 10. And we're going to find angle A, so to undo this cosine, we do the inverse cosine. And remember that -1 is not an exponent, it just means inverse cosine. Just the notation that mathematicians chose to use. So inverse cosine, we're going to go second cosine of, and I didn't even look at that one, whoops, 5 over 10, very good. I need you guys in class to remind me. Oh, 60 degrees. So in this one, we're looking at angle A is 60 degrees. Okay, so there's a few more examples.